Hi Internet, I'm Tango and these are Tango's Takes. And the take for today is challenge perceptions, accept consequences. Okay, this directly relates to work today. I am a team lead. We noticed a perceived performance difference in my Tier 1 team. Significant. Like 2 people regularly closing 2, 3, 4, and occasionally 5 times as many tickets as the other 3 people on the team of 5. This needed to be addressed, but perception isn't everything. You always back up perception with numbers. So, I finally found a way to pull better stats. I started doing so at the beginning of May, and by mid-June, perception was supported by the numbers. 2 people were outperforming by a huge amount. We had a meeting. We said, hey, we're going to do a shift bid. You have until the end of July. Best stats, most improved, most consistent. We're also going to take into account any sort of user feedback we receive, that kind of thing. Unsurprisingly, 3 people, 2 in particular, were like, but we do this one specific kind of ticket, and we do a lot of them, and we don't get credit for those because when we resolve the task attached to it, the system closes the ticket. Well, that's because we've set up the ticket intelligently. It requires all necessary data to start. It's a common repeated task. There's actually several kinds of them, but the basic concept, common repeated task. But they were right. The way I was pulling stats, we couldn't account for those because the system got credit for the close, not the person who resolved it. Well, today I found a way to pull those numbers and find out just how many people or how many tickets were being closed by people when the system called it internal services. And I ran the report. Because I found it after I was done with work today. I ran the report. My 2 top performers handled more of those tickets than anyone else. 122 in the past month and a half and 104. One of the most vocal people complaining that, hey, I do a lot of work from there, 88. The person with the fewest complaints about anything, 77. The next most vocal complainer, though, 20-something. In a month and a half. I'm making those numbers available to the team tomorrow. I was already over today. I found the numbers. I got what I wanted. I am going to attach them to the report tomorrow. They will have that information. It will be publicly available. I provide the stats into them in such a way that if they didn't all know each other very well, they would not necessarily know whose numbers were whose. They all got nicknames. The fact is they know each other very well, and even the most junior of them has been on the team a year. They know each other. They're going to know whose numbers are whose. And I fully expect some sharp reactions from the 2 low performers that were already vocal, but our numbers aren't accurately reflected. Well, they're more accurate now. A lot more accurate. They're still not where they need to be. You are still being outperformed by people who've only been on the team 15 months and one approaching 2 years. And the people complaining the most are at 3 years and 13. Look, it is all good to challenge the perceptions someone has of the work you do or of you. Just in you in general. It is perfectly acceptable to challenge those perceptions. But when you are provided evidence that supports those perceptions, it is on you to make a change if you are not happy with the way that the perception works. Because the point in the challenge was, well, if you have better data, you'll find that your perception is wrong. And I believe in science. If my data says my perception is wrong, my perception is wrong. But if my data supports my perception was right. Perception is a huge part of things. I used to work at a theme park. And we, as people very experienced in our rides, knew, like, say on a roller coaster with the inverted L-shaped lap bars, that we could very quickly run down, push down, pull up to make sure they were actually locked in place and holding. we could do this phenomenally quickly. But it didn't look safe to the guest, and it didn't feel safe to the guest, so we were required to slow down. Because while we knew it was safe and the data backed up that it was safe, perception is a huge part of that kind of business. People don't feel safe, and they will make bad choices. That is backed up by data. Therefore, we had to change the perception of what we were doing, even though it was supported by data, to prevent a bigger problem. Help desk, not quite the same thing. If the perception is you're not doing your share of the work, if the perception is someone else is doing more than their fair share of the work, and I pull the numbers, and they support that perception, it is on the person underperforming to step up. And right now, I can't offer monetary bonuses. I can't offer pay raises. But I can absolutely offer more preferred shift if somebody wants a more preferred shift. And now someone pointed out to me, hey, isn't that unfair if someone has kids they need to take care of or something? No. It is unfair to the team to keep someone in a position where they are underperforming, having given the chance to perform, because it is beneficial to them. It does not benefit the team. It causes discord, and you lose your best performers. Bad management is the biggest reason people leave. So again, challenge perceptions, accept the consequences when that challenge is evaluated fairly. Stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll catch you all next time.